What's up, folks? Thanks for tuning in. You're about to watch a talk that I had the opportunity to hold a couple of weeks ago at the National Graduate School, IBA, here in Trondheim, Norway. I hope it provides value to you, and let's go. Enjoy. Envision a bakery. And maybe you're 10 years old, 15 years old, and you go into this bakery and you smell the croissants, you smell the nice buns. You know, it could be in your neighborhood, where you grow up, and it's like you go and they just, And now envision that you're walking, for example, through a very cute town here, Midbyen, in downtown Trondheim, or Røros, or wherever. Cute, cute is a Saturday afternoon. You're with your family or your friends, people that you like, and you're just walking through the little town. And then there is a road, there's no cars, and you just pass by, and there's little doors. And you don't really pay attention because you're having a good time, chatting with your friends, and you just pass by. But behind one of these doors, there's a bakery. And this bakery, there's people in there who spend a lot of time making the best bakery products that they could produce. And there's these very nice croissants in the ovens, and there's these very nice buns and everything. But since you don't know, or we don't know, that this bakery is there, we just pass by. Yeah. What if the owner, could be a gentleman, could be a lady, what if the owner puts a ventilator next to the oven where all the good smell is, and this ventilator puts this nice smell on the road? And you pass by there and you smell this. And it maybe it reminds you on some good feelings, some good experiences from when you were 10, when you were 15, and you're like, they're putting so much effort into that, why don't they go in there? This ventilation is social media, this ventilation system. We are living our lives, and that's okay, but there's so much stuff happening outside, and all of you here, being PhD students, being researchers, you put your blood, sweat, and tears into your work. You work on Saturdays, on Sundays sometimes, you have deadlines, everything, You would not do it if it wouldn't make sense in the greater scheme of things, but you do it because you think it makes sense, and it's taxpayer money coming in. And yet you produce so many nice things, and no one knows about it. And I think that's sad. And I'm not here to say social media is the best, we all have to use social media. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to build your personal brand, to get a position. Just talk to Mate about what to do after academia, maybe. It's a way to show that you are there and to get jobs, maybe, or also to get invited for research projects, get invited for papers. And it's also an opportunity to get visibility for your research, so that your research can actually have positive impact in the world, whatever that is. I'm sure you all are researching on things that are important, because if not, no one would give you the money. No one would be there to supervise your work. So it's relevant. So today I'm going to talk about what social media could be for science communication, because that's what I burn for. I burn for two things professionally. One thing is that I want to help accelerating the energy transition as a researcher. And the second thing is I want to empower researchers and universities and research organizations to be better at science communication, so that societies can actually at least have the opportunity to make smart decisions. Because if we don't show it, if we don't share it, how are they going to know? They're not going to know. And I think that with social media, there's such an opportunity. And I feel that many researchers, me included, we're not taking enough advantage of that. Yet again, if you feel uncomfortable with that, that's fine. Not everyone has to do it. I'm just offering. I just want to try to offer something, okay? So when we think about social media, think about nice croissants. So since I think it's important to talk about science, I did some projects, and that's also what Marta just told. Is like I run a first podcast. It's called N-Power. It's on the German energy transition. It just recently hit 300,000 streams 3 days ago. We have like 70 episodes now. We started it in COVID. Like, we started before COVID. We're like happy, yeah, we can meet people and talk. And then COVID happened, and then we're like, okay, how do we do this now? And then we did everything digital. And it's like, when you start a podcast, you have 21st episode, no one is going to listen to it, and they're going to be shit. This is how it is. Anything you do online is going to be not so great in the beginning, but you learn over. Hi. That's all right. Have some drinks, sit down. Just not in front of the camera.
No, it's okay.
So, and what I also do is I run a second podcast, which is called the Science Communication Accelerator, which is just about how to use social media for science communication. And I got an email 2 days ago, Julius, you talk too fast all the time. And if you continue talking so fast, then I won't listen to this anymore. And I'm like, shucks. But yeah, so this is 40 episodes now. And then I run a third podcast, which is the Antimicrobials Energy Transition podcast, which is the first one where I actually get paid for, because it's part of my job. As I'm a researcher with the Antimicrobials Energy Transition Initiative. And then, as Marta just mentioned, I just recently started this as a company. So I get a little bit money for this. But what I do with this money is buying these microphones yesterday, 300 euros, 3,000 NOK, then having Ulrich here who's doing the video recording. So anything that comes in goes out in an instant, because I want to create visibility for these topics, and it's for the thing. So let's get into the talk. Whatever you want to do in life, you need attention of the people that might help you doing that. And that's the same thing if you want to sell sneakers. That's the same thing if you want to change a law, if you want to run for office, be a well-booked speaker, or if you want to talk about science. If you think that your stuff is important, you have to figure out who are the people that you actually need to reach. Who are the ones who give you the projects? Who are the ones who might supervise you? Who are the ones that might give you this professor position at NTNU? If they don't know who you are, very unlikely that they're going to give you anything of the things that you desire. So whatever we do first is we have to think, who is the people that we want the attention from? And yes, it will also, I just talked about this, it will help you, science communication will also help you building your personal brand. Because the best thing you can do is to provide value to the people that you think might be of interest to you. So if you have a company and you want to have business, then you should attract the attention of the people who might buy from you. How do you do that? You do that by providing them value. Because if you don't, we have so many things we can do in a day. Why should anyone care about me? Why should anyone care about Marta, about anyone? I care about Marta because Marta might give me something that I can learn from. Yeah? Or that helps me to overcome the challenges that I face every day. The question is, when we think about attention, the question is, where is the attention? Who of you has a smartphone? Can you just raise your hands? Who of you, thank you, who of you charged that smartphone in the room where you were sleeping last night? I like your smiles, the two of you. Who of you was charging the phone so close to you that you could even reach to it today in the morning when you got up, in hand's reach? Crazy, isn't that? 10 years ago, no one had a smartphone, 15 years ago. And now in the 10 mobile-first markets, the people in these markets, it's South Korea, United States, they use 5 out of 15 hours that people are awake, they have their smartphone running. It's YouTube videos, it's podcasts, it's music, it's whatever it is. This is where the attention is. And the thing is, in the 70s, it was really hard to build a TV channel or a radio channel. Yeah? Today, all you need is this, because you can do your YouTube channel, you can do your podcast. It's not great, like the microphones are not amazing, but they're good enough to do anything. So it's not technology, it's not finance, it's here. Are we aware of this? Whom do we want to reach? How do we do this? But it's not, obviously, when I talk about this, it seems so easy. It's not that easy, obviously. And I know that people, and we have to overcome ourselves. In the 10s and the 20s and the 30s, we had TV, radio, newspapers. Then we had email, SMS, web pages, LinkedIn, and suddenly this happened. Discord, Clubhouse, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitch, Instagram, ResearchGate, Twitter, Twitter Spaces, Spotify, Facebook, Skype, LinkedIn. That can be overwhelming. And that's okay. And no one says you have to do it all. Yeah? Like if you start the game, eventually you might realize, okay, I'm good at this. You learn this better. You learn LinkedIn. And then you do a podcast. Or then you build a web page for yourself. Or you have someone building it. Yeah? Question is always, where's underpriced attention? What's the best thing that you can do in order to get attention to your work and maybe to yourself? That could be a web page. That's super easy. That says, I'm a researcher. I do this. And I would like to go out of academia. You can also post 20 posts on LinkedIn, and people connect to you. Yeah, so the question is, where's your target group? And then you create content that creates value to them. Question is, how? And the how is this. There's only 4 ways how you can create content. Yeah? You write something, you create audio, podcast, you make photos or graphics that are shareable. Shareable graphics are amazing. If you have a shareable graphic of some, I don't know, what was this word here? Antimicro something? Look, I didn't even know what the last word means, but how do I know about the first 5 words? But if you make a fancy, cool, informative graphic about that topic that is attractive and that tells a story, and you put your name or Entenu on it, and then people will share it, and suddenly your brand or your name is shared several thousand times. I'll show you an example in a minute. Or what you do at last is video making. Now, I know that not every one of us feels comfortable putting up a phone. Can I use your phone again, Marta? Putting up your phone and just talking to that. I have this teeth, which is a bit squared, and always I'm right-handed. Always when I do a video, always these teeth looks in there. I look at my phone and You wouldn't notice it, but I notice it. And the same, we all have these little imposter, whatever. It's like, oh no, okay, I started doing it from the left side. Stupid, but yes. So I'm just saying it's okay to feel uncomfortable. Like, it's not great, but we all have it. And you don't know that my teeth, that I have issues with that tooth. So I don't know any of your issues. And I don't care. No one cares. If you make funny, cool videos that I feel is worth spending time with because I learned something, I don't care about your sits. I don't care about your hair. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah? But yeah, it's funny to start making videos, for example. So I'm saying it's okay to feel, oh, this is not me. Like so when you're online or when you put yourself out there and you try to, not you, like anyone, and we try to be someone else, more professional, more whatever, I always have sneakers on because I'm not the really nice shoe guy, just an example. So if you are you, the people will connect better. We all have dirt detectors in our nose. We all smell if someone is doing something that they're actually not super comfortable with. We smell that. And then we're like, why are you not being you? I don't think I want to consume your content. So I'm like, if you are you, look, there is no such thing as the greater public. Yeah? We all think about 8 billion people that we want to reach. Ain't going to happen. We're going to reach 0.0000001% of people. And that is your niche, that is my niche, that is your, everyone has our own niche. And for every person, there is an audience. So this means, I would always say, just be you. And then the people who are not interested in you, they won't consume your stuff. But there is people who are interested. It's the same thing. If you go to a pedestrian zone in downtown Trondheim and you put a red hat on, anything crazy with a crazy color, 99% of the people will pass by who not give a damn. Yeah? But maybe 1 or 2 people will stand and start talking to you. Same thing with social media. 99% will see your content and will not think that this is relevant to them. This is none of our businesses. They are the ones who decide. And if you are good at creating content, if you're authentic, you will always have a shot. There's so many people who don't produce content because they're scared. We all are scared to a certain degree. But if we overcome us being scared, there will be people who are looking forward to hear from us. You did this, and I kind of have an idea what does that mean? Like, there's definitely people that want to listen to you. Come on, like to all of us. So if you make a video that's 2 minutes long, and if you make a shareable graphic that people get in 5 seconds, in an instance, because it's, then that could be more shareable. If you do a video that's 2 minutes, that could be way more easy to understand as if you would write a text that's 50 pages long. But on the other hand, maybe that if you write a blog post that's 20 pages long, maybe that gives you the depth that anything else doesn't give you. If you do a 45-minute YouTube video, a podcast, that's a different depth than if you do a 10-second TikTok. The 10-second TikTok gives you discovery, meaning people find you because it gets to be pushed into their feed. But if you want to go deep with science information, maybe that's a good way to go. So there's these 4 formats of how you can create content, and the question is where you go. But that's all part of what I think is that's strategizing. And I want to show you the easiest way of building up your own communication strategy. Because just going out there and doing whatever, that's good to get you started, but sitting down 5 minutes to think about it, maybe that's not too bad. So on this strategy, it's really easy. It's about the what, it's about the how, and it's about the where. So the first thing is like, what are you about? What is you? What is it, the content that you want to push? What do you want to share with the world? Second thing is how. That's these 4 different types of ways of content. And then and how. And where is, which is actually the platform. Is it a podcast? Is it LinkedIn? Is it TikTok? Is it whatever it is? So if you just answer these 3 questions, then you're good. Obviously, you can't make podcasts and put it on LinkedIn, for example. That needs to fit, but that's it. But by the way, LinkedIn is probably not a bad idea, and also TikTok is probably not a bad idea. And now probably everyone's going to say, no, everyone dances on TikTok. No. These platforms develop really strongly, really quickly. In 2017, everyone who was on TikTok was dancing. Now you find everything there. And the thing is that, and now listen carefully, the networks, what's evolution? What's the verb for evolution? Develop? They evolve. Thank you, Martha. They evolve. And what's happening on these platforms is first, you get more people on the platform. So in the beginning, you have a lot of people that demand or consume content. You have a little amount of people that produce content. So this little amount of content is getting a lot of visibility. Over time, there's still more coming, but the people who produce is getting as big. So that means if you have 10 times more content, obviously, and if the same of demand, then everything that is produced is getting 10 times less attention because this group stays more or less the same. And then all these networks, what they want to do is make money. So this means they put also ads in there. So you're not just competing with other people who are creating content, but you're also competing with ads. And that means that in the beginning of a social network, there's a lot of growth, and it's amazing when you start early and you surf that wave. But over time, it's getting harder and harder to build a community, to build a following on a network. That's what happened with Facebook. No one is on Facebook anymore, just 60-year-old people. That's what happens with Twitter. The attention graph on Twitter is not really good right now. That's the same thing with Instagram. People say, the new algorithm is not giving me attention. No, it's just that people are leaving Instagram to go to TikTok. So again, I'm not saying do this, do that. I'm just saying be aware of these processes that happen behind. But it's also risky. Like if you would have gone to TikTok in 2017 and that would break, and it would not go anywhere, then you would have invested a lot of time into something that's not working. So going very early into something can also be risky. But I'm just saying, what's the risk you want to take? But on the other hand, if you take the risk, you might really blow up if your content is good. Good. So this was kind of, I try not to do it as a motivational talk, but this is kind of like, so far, hey, so much opportunity, do it all, amazing. But there's also some negative sides to it, obviously, and that's exposure. And we love exposure for our projects. We love exposure when it comes to new papers, to all these things. But I'm a white, middle-aged guy, and I don't get a lot of hate. But there is a lot of other people who get funny visibility. There's so many people on Twitter that, hey, beautiful, where are you going, Hey, good looking good, cheesy, nasty comments. And this happens still. This happens on the streets, maybe not so much in Norway. Actually, Norway is a nice country in this regard, I feel. But like my sister in Germany, sometimes, when she walks by a construction site, they get funny comments. It's the same thing here. Social media, online, it's still us. It's still the people outside. And so there is funny comments. There is people on. If you want to find hate, go on Twitter. On the right side, there's trends. Click on a trend. And the first 10 posts are always full of hate. Because these ones get engagement. People say that's wrong, whatever. So I'm just saying, ladies, sorry to you, but brace yourself. Decide if this is what you want to do. I would love for every woman researcher to be out there and put content out there. But I can understand each and every one of you, that feels a bit intimidated maybe, or doesn't feel right doing that. But still, there's formats where you get more hate, potentially, Twitter, for example. But if you do a podcast, for example, the likelihood that you get a lot of hate is kind of low. So that could also be something to think about when you want to talk about your stuff, which format it is that you choose. Yeah. As I said in the beginning, I think it's a great opportunity, but I think these things also need to be mentioned. So, and I'm going to present you 5 things, more tactical ones. So now we talked about, okay, it's a great opportunity. These are the different formats. Be aware of what you're getting into. I would love for you to get into, but be aware. And now I'm going to give you more tactical advice, okay? Because we talked in our previous meeting in 2 weeks ago. We said, okay, paint the big picture, but then it would be cool if you give them something to hold on to. Yeah, and I'll try to, there's always something deeper. I can always go, okay, this is the software you should use, or this is the cut your podcast with this, but I think that's too deep. I think that doesn't provide value to you. I'm here to provide you value so that you get better at that, yeah? And I want that you do that as well for your audiences. Provide value. Do something that someone else finds interesting. Do something that someone else finds that this is worth spending time with. Because if they don't, if you make it about yourself, no one cares. If I say, is it the next slide? Yeah, it's the next slide, here. 2 posts. LinkedIn, white professors. Wow, I just realized that I reached 10,000 citations on Google Scholar. This is for me personally a major milestone and something I'm very proud of, and thanks for all those who have cited me. Keep it up. Smiley rocket. Me, I. Look how cool I am. Does that provide value to you, to me? This is a bit showing off, I feel. It's okay if once in a while we post these kind of things, because it's okay to share what we get out, yeah? But this is, if you only post these kind of posts, it's unlikely that people will interact with that. Same thing here. Proud to receive the Clarivet Highly Cited Researcher Award today, recognizing the true pioneers in their fields over the last decade, demonstrated by the production of multiple highly cited papers, blub, blub, blub. So this is very me, I. And if you do this only, if one does only that, you're not going to get very far. So the thing is, what's your target group? What are they interested in? What are they struggling with? Put yourself in their shoes and think, what am I struggling? What are these struggling with? And then you create content for that. N-Power, this first podcast that I started, the energy transition is really, it's a big thing in Germany, and not a lot of people, there is no other podcast that takes an hour for each of these very basic topics that you would never be willing to ask about because they're so basic. There's no other place where you can get it. And what we do is not crazy. It's not crazy what we're doing. We just talk about it and give people an easy opportunity to learn about how does solar work? What's the issue with wind? Will we all be powered by hydrogen? All these very basic questions. This is what we talk about. That's it. 300,000 people like that stuff. 300,000 times it was streamed. It's not that many people. Second thing, start early. It's so early, so easy when you have a project, 3-year project, 4-year project, and you say, yeah, I'll have my papers done in 3 years, whatever. And then you put it out, and there's no audience, because no one knows that you are working on these things. And I know we all, when we start something, we're not experts. So maybe one word I could put in your head, and that's enthusiast. Because if you say, I'm an enthusiast for that topic, no one expects that you know it all. But if you start as an enthusiast, or well-educated enthusiast to post about these things, you maybe slip into the feeds of someone of your target group, and they may like it, and then they connect with you on LinkedIn, for example. Yeah, so start early, because then you have time to build up something, an audience, that people know that you're working with this. Another example, I'm working on a paper on direct air capture currently. Direct air capture means that you suck CO2 out of ambient air, normal air, because we got climate change and we need to get it out again and put it underground, okay? I have no idea about this topic, no idea, until 3 weeks ago. What I do is I look at the innovation system. I look at like, the technology is there, but what does it need? What kind of policy does it need? What kind of market, blah, 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 all that stuff. And what I did is I made a list of experts in the direct air capture ecosystem. And then I made a list. And I linked all these people, yeah? And I said, who else, this is my first guess, I have no idea about this thing, who else do you think should be on that list? Everyone likes to be on lists. You know, this Forbes 30 under 30, or 40 under 40, or Forbes, I don't know, like they make so many lists, and you can show, when you're on a list, Alex, if you're on a list, you can show your friends, hey, like, I'm on the list. You know? It's just one idea. Don't do this if it doesn't fit you. But if people in your target group are on LinkedIn, that could be an idea. And this one this is not updated. Here it is 19,000 impressions, now it's on 27,000 impressions. I didn't even know that the ecosystem was so big. But then I asked all of these people for interviews for my study. I do 30 interviews. And guess what? They've seen that I put time into this. They see that they already got visibility. Sure, when I call them. Not sure, but very likely when I call them, they say yes, because they see that, oh, this is the guy with the list guy. Maybe it's not bad to make friends with him, you know? So it's like in marketing, you call it social selling. You warm your potential person up by building a relationship, because you gave them something, so they have the feeling they have to give you something back. And I'm not doing this out of strategy, but you can be strategic, a little bit. You know, I'm just, so, yeah. Yeah, maybe 70 comments, 100 likes. It's not my grandmother, but I think she's really cute. It's very hard in the Monday mornings when you come to the office and you say, now I have to produce content. And you go out of the office and Monday evening, shit, I didn't produce content. Tuesday morning, you go into the office, I have to produce content. Tuesday evening, you leave again. Oh, damn, I didn't produce content. It's hard sometimes. But what you can do, and that's I think the unlock is, don't create content, but start by documenting. I don't sit at home in front of my camera, talking to the camera, but I have Ulrich here, who he's just documenting. Hi, you're documenting this. So you just do that. If you're in the lab, make a little video about why, what are you doing? Today I'm working on this and this. This is important because of this and this. This is one of the steps towards this. And I hope that I'm done by Friday afternoon. And I'll let you know Friday afternoon if I managed it or if I didn't. You just created a story. You have a beginning, you have the process, and you have something that people can look for. Do that, documenting. Easy. You don't have to be the smartest person. It doesn't need to be crazy good. Done is better than perfect. Look. Here. Yeah? It's really hard to see. But it's like this guy wanted this child up there. It's not really looking good, whatever. But you always make mistakes. Whatever you do, we always make mistakes. Look, here, I made videos on a solar field, and I put captions under it. Yeah? But I didn't have the money to buy a caption software. So you always see the watermark in there. This is not perfect. This is not professional. But it works. That thing got almost 700 views. It's not amazing. You know, I'm also so small. I'm not a big influencer, but I'm so small, yeah? But it works. It gives people the opportunity to understand your life, to engage with you. Same here, yeah? You look, last time I didn't even have Ulrich. I just put my camera there and just talked, and I was normally walking out of the frame. It's not perfect, it's not amazing, but it works, yeah? And it's okay if it's not perfect. And then the last thing we talked about is just be you and give it context. Be you meaning, I always talk fast. I will not stop talking fast. I will, be you. Because there's this cheesy saying, everyone else is already there. But just be you. It's okay, because you're going to attract these people that no one else attracts. And then maybe give context. By the way, this is the mother of Ulrich. She's my boss. Just a funny selfie, 34 likes. Why? We don't know, but it gives context. It's like they're having fun, they're doing this podcast thing, whatever. It's like give context of what you do. That already gives people the opportunity to build relationship with you. Why did this bloody picture, nothing happens on that picture, got 50 likes? Because people like Norway or something. I don't know. It is nothing science related, but it gives people the opportunity to build up a relationship with you. And next time you slip into that stream, they will have a look at it again. Okay, we're really getting to the last point. 2 more slides. I would have given this talk here. Marta said, we don't know how many people will come. If only 3 people would be here, if only 2 people would be here. 1 is better than 0. Yeah? It's like, if no one would be here, I would still do the same thing to get better at this. If you do your first video, you will make millions of mistakes. But you learn about it. We bought this thing yesterday. I told Ulrich for the first time today in the morning, I don't know if this is going to work out. But if it doesn't work out, we learn for the next time. That's the same thing. And when you have a very small community, that's a good thing. When you start, no one sees you. That means you can make all the mistakes in your life, and no one even knows about that. And over time, you get bigger. Yeah? And it's not about always the next follower or whatever. Be happy with the best thing you can do to grow your audience is to provide more value to the audience that you already have. Because they, guess what? They will like your LinkedIn post. They will comment on it. And then the algorithm will show it to someone else. And then they will see you again. So whatever you do, provide the best value to the people that you have in your following already. Everything I say today, you don't need me. It's nice that Marta called me and I get this opportunity to talk to you, but you don't meet me. If you have any question, how do I make a banger Instagram video? How do I make a podcast? Whatever. You go on this amazing webpage. I'll let you know. www.google.com. It's amazing. How do I make a banger Instagram video? Chuck. You find everything. You don't need me. So that's the thing. Mindset is the only thing that counts. You do it or you don't do it. I would love for every one of you to do this, to get better at it, to build your brand, to get your research and your science out so that the people outside can actually take advantage of it. But it's just here. And so now it's up to you. Yeah? But if you, for example, are on Twitter, on LinkedIn, or whatever, and you put me under one of your posts, I will comment, I will like, I will support you, and I'll cheer you up every time. Yeah? So I'm just saying. And if you think this was all crap that Julius said here, everything was like, well, I'm not doing this, and just do one thing, yeah? Create a Google Scholar account so that people who actually get to know you can find what you published. And if you don't do anything else, yeah? But please, just do this. What questions do you have? Thank you for listening to me today. That's it for this talk. Thanks for tuning in. I hope it provided value for you. If you liked it, and if it did provide value to you, then please like this one and subscribe to the channel. And apart from that, good luck with your science communication endeavors. Let me know if I can help. Take care.